Coach. Talking about this advantage, Coach, we just recently, saw a press conference in LA that Canelo is moving up, I think 2 weight classes in order to face Kovalev. What are your thoughts on it, or how do you feel like this fight it could go, against each other?
Stylistically, it's a good fight for Canelo because Canelo is a body puncher. Canelo is a pressure fighter. He's young. I just think the advantage is on Canelo. Even though Kovalev is a strong fighter, he has devastating punch. But at this point, I just see Canelo taking over the fight. He's gonna attack. He's gonna attack Kovalev to the body from the beginning, and I think he'll be the winner of the night because stylistically, it just plays that way. Canelo is a stocky fighter with great movement, strong, young, body puncher that will get inside on a taller fighter like he did with Rocky Fielding, and just basically go to the body from the beginning and execute the plan and become with the victory.
I think I feel like it's a tough test when it comes from Canelo moving up to different weight classes. Weight classes are made for a difference. I mean, for a reason. The question is if Kovalev can do some damage in order to Canelo. I think he has an advantage, but
he can. Kovalev is a great experienced fighter. He's a seasoned fighter, and at the same time, if he catches Canelo with a good punch, he can hurt him because the weight difference, height difference, and then the reach. He has advantage on reach, height, and I think he is really hard. And Canelo moving up 2 divisions, it can affect him on the power punch.
Definitely, it's a fight that a lot of fight fans want to see. They want to stay tuned because it's gonna be interesting to see what Canelo brings into against a Kovalev that still a name right there. Like even though he's not being the same Kovalev that used to be when we saw for Andrew Ward, Bernard Hopkins, and all these great fighters too. I think.
Well, after so many years, obviously, you age, and the older you get, you decrease in the sport. And I think that every camp for every fight puts wear and tear in your body, especially when you're older. And as you get older, it's just tougher. I think it's the right time right now for Canelo to move up and face Kovalev. But at the end of the day, nothing's for sure. People can get surprises every day. We see boxing brings a lot of surprises, but you never know. Nothing's for sure. I just analyze the fight, and I just think that stylistically, this fight is made for Canelo. But at the same time, don't take Kovalev easy because he can also surprise Canelo because of his height, reach, and power.
That should be like something that Canelo needs to be aware, and I think he is, because he knows the magnitude of the fight, and he knows that making these big steps in order to face Kovalev is a fight that it makes things what outcome is gonna be.
I just think that Canelo will come out with a victory, because he will attack Kovalev to the body, wear him down. Honestly, I don't even think it'll go the distance. I think that Canelo will stop Kovalev in the later rounds, but it will not go the distance.
Pretty much, a fight that I want to see, what he's going to bring. Because after this, I don't know if he would like to face for the 3rd time Triple G. I don't know if that fight could happen or it would take place. And talking about Triple G, he's having a fight, this Saturday against Sergey Derevyanchenko, the technician. What do you think of these 2 fighters, Bob?
Based on Triple G's last fight, I was here on his last fight, I think it's going to be a tough fight. It's not going to be easy for Triple G. Triple G is at the stage of his career where he ages well, and he's not the same Triple G he was 3-4 years ago. On his last fight, he fought a guy that, if I'm not mistaken, from Canada.
Yep, Canada.
A fighter that I never heard of before, and I honestly thought that he was winning the early rounds, and he was taking Triple G was taking a lot of unnecessary punches, clean punches, and a fighter like Derevanchenko,
yep,
can do some damage with. Canelo can do some damage with his punches. I mean, Triple G took some punches that if somebody with more power lands on him would hurt him. But at this point, Derevanchenko wants to fight. He put up a great fight against Daniel Jacobs. Honestly, to me, it's a 60-40 fight.
Oof.
Honestly, it's a 60-40 for Triple G. It's not a 50-50. It's not a 75-25, but I think it's a 60-40. But it's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna give us some good rounds of action.
Definitely, coach. I'm willing to see what outcome is gonna be on that night. I'm just gonna wrap it up with this, coach. I know you guys train harder for the fight that MJ was looking forward to face Roman Daniel. If he's not fighting Roman, are you guys targeting somebody else? I mean, eventually that's mandatory. Well, always politics. Sometimes they get involved.
The boxing business gets involved in different ways. Danny Roman had some injuries, which he pulled out of the fight with MJ on the last event here. So MJ was ready. He was ready. So we fought. A stay busy fight. So for now, what we're doing is we're sitting around. Since that was a fight that we wanted, we're gonna sit around until Daniel Roman is ready and see what he's got. Hopefully he don't decide to take another route, but meanwhile our focus is Roman. We want to be able to wait for Roman to get ready and heals, and whenever he's ready, we are next in line, because we were supposed to fight him and he had an injury. So now we just want to get for him to get his recovery and get ready for the next fight when he comes back. As soon as he says he's ready to make his comeback after the injury, we're gonna be standing right there, right by the door, ready for him. If he decides to fight MJ, great. Or unless the business plays another game and takes him another route, we're gonna move on. There's a lot of fighters out there for MJ. There's I think there's Brandon Figueroa. There's, Assad. There's Navarrete. There's
Ray Vargas.
There's Ray Vargas. There's a lot of fighters out there for us, But I just think that for us, the mandatory with Roman was the one we were looking forward to.
Great to hear that, coach. Reason I asked this is because last time when MJ was here in New York, I spoke with him. I can feel it that he was, he was ready for this fight. Yeah. He wanted this fight, and I can tell when a person trains for a specifically fight. And I say this: you guys put a lot of effort. Not only the fighter, but the coach, family, team, everyone. And when something like that,
Yeah, it's just sad that we put in time, effort, work, and with money, and everybody loses, because your time in the gym is work. That's what brings the food to the family. So we trained for a whole 2 months for this fight, and at the end of the day, there's no fight. Everybody loses. Unfortunately, everybody loses. The training, whatever we invest, our time and time away from home, it's just sad, but eventually and hopefully that it happens. And if it happens, hopefully we can recover everything that was lost, because even though what's lost is lost already. You don't recover, but at least try to recover some of it.
Eventually, I wish that this fight, happens. Wishing also Daniel Roman, to get healed. As soon as he get healed, I think, he's a man that he will make this fight happen, and fight fans, of course, they will be expecting this fight. Coach,
that was gonna be a great fight for the fans.
Oh yeah.
That was gonna be a great fight for the fans. We all know Daniel Roman is a great warrior. He loves to fight. He's a very disciplined a Mexican warrior, and at the same time, we got a young kid on MURODJON AKHMADALIEV who is a solid kid, very disciplined. Won a bronze medal in the Olympics. He's very hungry to be a world champion, and he was very excited and looking forward to a fight like that. That's why it played out great. Making the fight happen. So we're just looking forward. A lot of people talked about it. I think it's gonna be one of the greatest fights whenever it happens.
I'll be one of the persons expecting this fight, and I bet you your team and everyone that is in your corner, and of course Roman's team too, they be ready for this, and hopefully this fight happens for the future. Any message that you would like to add to the fight fans and everyone, Coach?
No, well, everybody, I just thank everybody for watching the fight, following me and my fighters. All I can say is this: we work every day, we work hard every day to give the fans the fights they want to see. A lot of fans know, and the fans who know me and know my fighters, they know that when we show up to a show, to an event, everybody knows that we're gonna put up great fight, and we're gonna give the people the best fights that they want.
Thank you, Coach. Wishing nothing but the best for both teams, and of course, all you fighters that are under your management, and I'm willing to see great fights in the future, and of course this Saturday too.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the city of New York, Coach Diaz. Thank you, Coach.